The decline of the Chozo around the cosmos opened the path for humans and other races to work together and colonize a number of planets for their resources. One of these was K2L, a lush and green Federation mining colony where Samus Aran was born in the year of Cosmos 2055. Samus's first years were good, but these abruptly ended with space pirates under the command of Ridley raided K2L. The marauding space pirates were ruthless, sparing none of the colonists. That included Samus's father, colony leader Rodney Aran, who blew himself up on the invading space pirate flagship, and mother, Virginia Aran, who protected 3-year-old Samus from Ridley's deadly claws. Luckily, a member of the Chozo race, Old Bird from Zebes, rescued the orphan child. Over the next years, Old Bird, Grey Voice, and the biological supercomputer Mother Brain took care of the child. They infused her with Grey Voice's Chozo DNA, subdued her to inhumane Chozo warrior training, and granted her a custom-built organic power suit, a relic of their militaristic past. With her training complete, the Protector of the Galaxy left the Chozo and joined the Galactic Federation Police, a division of the Trade and Military Federations set up to combat the marauding space pirate raids on cargo vessels in the year of Cosmos 2003. Samus stayed as an officer of the Galactic Federation Police for a short while, but was soon convinced by Commander Adam Malkovich to join the crew on his Galactic Federation battleship. The reason for this transfer was tied to Samus's brief return to Zebes, when the planet fell under the control of space pirates after Mother Brain betrayed the Chozo. A confrontation which resulted in the death of Old Bird and Grey Voice, the latter after personally confronting Mother Brain and making a last stand against Ridley. All so that Samus, who shared Grey Voice's DNA, could escape to her new home, the Galactic Federation Army. At first, it seemed as Samus had found her place, befriending co-soldier Anthony Higgs and Adam's brother Ian. However, the individualistic and restless space warrior was an outsider who refused to settle. This became apparent after a failed rescue mission killed Ian. This unfortunate incident led the young warrior to abandon her post and pursue a career as an independent bounty hunter. Over the next years as the hunter, she cemented her position as the most feared bounty hunter in the galaxy. Sorry, Boba Fett. Eventually, a Federation vessel fell victim to Metroids while exploring SR-388, and another team was sent to secure the Metroids for research purposes. But this one was raided and killed by space pirates who brought them to Mother Brain for harvesting. A series of Metroid attacks against the Federation followed, but after extensive searches, the Federation managed to track the pirate activity to planet FS-176, Zebes. An invasion was launched, but when this one failed, they summoned Samus Aran for her Zero mission. The bounty hunter arrived on the grim and desolate surface and quickly realized that Mother Brain and the space pirates had turned the planet into a vicious fortress. Angered by this fact, she did not look around, but fought her way down to Brinstar's volcanic depths and defeated Ridley's comrade, Space Pirate Kraid. The commander of the space pirates, Ridley, was notified about Samus's presence, headed directly back to Zebes, and encountered the bounty hunter in the depths of the caverns of Norfair. By delivering the final blow to the space dragon, Samus Aran had finally avenged the death of her parents. Despite expecting strong opposition from the space pirates at Turian, she was shocked to find the space pirates massacred by Metroids. Seeing the threat the Metroids posed, she sorted them out and progressed towards Mother Brain and launched her entire arsenal of missiles until the self-aware biological computer was no more. Samus evacuated the underground facilities. Following the destruction of the pirate base, a dogfight ensued where the hunter was shot down and forced to crash land. From the wreck of her Genshin, she sneaked through the pirate mothership to the ruins of the ancient Chozo temple, Chozodia, blew up the pirate mothership, and escaped from Zebes by stealing one of the pirate fighters. The mission was accomplished, However, 3 other pirate frigates filled with Metroid specimens, Orpheon, Syriacus, and Volparagam, were still in Zebus's orbit and managed to retreat from the planet. Over the next few months, pirate activity declined to a point where the bounty hunter had to traverse the entire galaxy to find new contracts. This state of matters would lead her to a distress call from a space station orbiting the unknown planet Talon 4. It was the Orpheon. With its imminent meltdown and destruction of its reactor core, she was faced by an unpleasant sight: Meta Ridley. Samus tailed the resurrected space dragon down to Talon 4 and discovered that Leviathan meteorite from planet Phase had caused the highly toxic chemical phase to corrupt and kill the planet's wildlife and its former Chozo inhabitants. While exploring the roots of this lost civilization, Samus fought her way down to the pirate stronghold and then the Phazon Metroid mines and defeated the mutated Omega Pirate, causing her power suit to be absorbed with Phazon. She then set course for the impact crater, but Meta Ridley dropped in to ruin the party. The angered Samus showed her arch-nemesis who was boss, overloaded the giant enemy crab in the impact crater, and then the Metroid Prime hiding inside it. In a final desperate move, the dying Metroid pulled off Samus's Phazon suit, leading to the creation of Dark Samus. Prior to confronting her double, Samus would take part in a scavenger hunt for an ultimate power against 6 other bounty hunters, including her rival Sylix. After a long struggle, she gained access to Oubliette in the Alembic cluster, defeated the ancient beast Goria, and captured the Omega Cannon, the ultimate power spoken of. Galactic Federation troopers investigating space pirate activity are missing. Contact with the troopers lost 8 days ago. Locate the troopers and render assistance if necessary. The bounty hunter arrived too late to rescue the possessed Bravo team and found the highly unstable Aether infested by the Ing and Dark Samus. Just like Talon 4, a meteorite sent from Phase had struck Aether. The rapidly spreading Phazon fused with the planetary energy, causing a trans-dimensional flux, splitting Aether into 2 planets which shared the same area of space. The Ing from Dark Aether brutally conquered Light Aether, drained its light energy, and exterminated most of the planet's inhabitants, the Luminoth, while its survivors retreated into hibernation in the Great Temple. By Samus's arrival, only the sentinel Umos was awake as he pleaded with the hunter for help to combat the Ing and restore light to Aether's 4 temples. This would by no means be an easy task to accomplish, as the bounty hunter had to travel through interdimensional portals to the life-draining Dark Aether in order to reclaim the stolen light, and learn the tragic fate of the fallen Luminoth Temple Guardians. Grateful for the effort, Umos granted Samus the light suit to liberate Aether from its plague. Samus stormed the Ing Sky Temple, murdered Emperor Ing, and drained the last of the stolen energy, causing the dimension to crumble and barely escape the collapse of Dark Aether. After defeating Dark Samus, she returned back to a hero's welcome, but left the Luminoth without uttering a single word. Six months transpired, and Samus was summoned by Galactic Federation Admiral Dane, along with other bounty hunters, Gandrada, Gore, and Rundus, to retrieve the organic supercomputer Aurora 313 that had been stolen by space pirates and clear the virus they had installed. Making a long story short, space pirates interrupted the briefing. Samus was then ambushed by Meta Ridley on planet Norian and saved by Rundus, just to be knocked out by Dark Samus, who corrupted all the bounty hunters with Phazon. Taking advantage of this, Federation scientists installed the Phazon enhancement device to Samus's power suit, as her body was self-producing Phazon. She was then ordered to destroy the Leviathan seeds of Bryo, the ancient Chozo Sky Town on planet Elysia, and later the pirate homeworld, and locate the missing bounty hunters. All of them had been utterly corrupted by Phazon, forcing Samus to battle each one of them, including her personal friend, Rundus. The restored Aurora 217 unit of Elysia discovered crucial information from the hidden Chozo artifacts in Skytown, setting the stage for the Federation invasion of the pirate homeworld. Upon Omega Ridley's defeat, Samus's corruption levels reached a critical point. Thankfully, Aurora 217 continued its research and finally located Planet Phase, where Dark Samus had retreated with the stolen Aurora 313 unit. Samus and Admiral Dane led the Galactic Federation fleet through a wormhole left by a Leviathan battleship. And utterly destroyed Dark Samus and all Phazon, causing Phase to self-destruct. The bounty hunter picked up her prize. But as she departed, was followed by a ship resembling that of Sylix. With the Phazon threat sorted out, Samus got screwed over by a Galactic Federation force, while Sylix sneaked in and stole a Metroid, creating a new crisis for the galaxy, a mission which still remains to be told. Anyhow, sometime after this unknown encounter, one issue still bothered the Galactic Federation: Chozo-engineered Metroids on planet SR-388. As a result, they sent Samus with a simple mission: do the dirty work and get rid of every last Metroid. One by one, the Metroids, Omega Metroids, and ultimately the massive Queen Metroid were all hunted down. However, Samus came across an egg and spared the infant Metroid that hatched from it. Samus had almost made her way out of SR-388, but had to once again deal with Ridley, who had found his way back to his planet. After putting the space dragon in his place as an eternal loser, the hatchling was secured in a container. Samus delivered the infant Metroid to the scientists of the Galactic Federation Ceres Space Colony, where further research suggested that the powers of the Metroids could be harnessed for the benefit of mankind. Certain that the Metroid was in good care, the bounty hunter departed from the station, but quickly returned after receiving a distress call. The last Metroid is in captivity. The galaxy is at peace. A dreadful sight of corpses and Ridley met Samus. The space dragon kidnapped the infant Metroid and initiated the self-destruct mechanism. Samus tailed the space dragon to Zebes and discovered that the pirate base destroyed in her Zero mission had secretly been rebuilt and expanded during the Phazon crisis. Things could have easily gone out of hand as she went on her monster hunt and took down good old Kraid, the ghost Phantoon, the disgusting Dragon, and finally her arch-nemesis, Ridley in Norfair. Ridley's corpse opened the way to the Metroid-infested Turian, where a new type of Metroid was encountered, the Super Metroid, or the modified baby Metroid, which, ashamed of hunting its mother, did not kill Samus and floated away. The bounty hunter stood eye to eye with the second Mother Brain, and without hesitation shattered the control capsule and fired her missiles at her. In a surprise twist, she unleashed her giant mechanical body to counter Samus. It seemed as if all was lost when Mother Brain repeatedly fired off her deadly hyper beam, leaving Samus near death, but in the moment she was to fire the final shot, the infant Metroid intervened and latched on Mother Brain, draining her energy and transferred it to its mom. Unfortunately, Mother Brain was not yet a corpse and exacted a cruel vengeance, killing the infant Metroid by firing a series of beam strikes at it. With a loud scream of pain, the infant Super Metroid burst into 1,000 pieces, falling at Samus's power suit. Full of anger, Samus unleashed the Hyper Beam, turned Mother Brain into toast and triggered the self-destruct mechanism for the entire planet. On her way out, the bounty hunter rescued a group of Edacoons and Dakaras, and then with sentiment took off, bearing witness as her Chozo foster parents' home was turned into ashes. Zebes was lost for good, the space pirates were presumed to be gone, and the Metroid's long history. But the tragedy was not over for Samus, as shortly after debriefing, she received a distress call from a Federation battleship. There, she was briefly reunited with Commander Adam Malkovich and her former squad of the Federation battleship. Samus joined the 7th Platoon in the investigation after being greeted by Anthony Higgs, but had to accept that Adam was handing out the orders. This also applied to the use of her weapons and power suit upgrades. After some initial searches, Samus discovered that the research station had been used for gathering Zebesian space pirates and other deadly creatures intended for Special Forces units and harvesting Metroids as weapons based on the extracted DNA of the baby Metroid from her power suit. Upon meeting what would turn out to be the artificial Mother Brain and the cause of the havoc on the station, she was attacked by a traitor from Adam's squad, the Deleter. Following a post-traumatic stress disorder encounter against the new Ridley, she had to witness Adam enter and sacrifice his life when he detached and blew up Sector 0 from the inside. MB then attempted to crash the battleship into Federation territory, but was prevented from doing so by Anthony Higgs. Samus and the Galactic Federation Marines put an end to MB's miserable being and blew up the battleship. Sometime after the incident on the battleship, Samus Aran was assigned to watch over a biological research team on planet SR-388. This task would turn out to be dangerous, as Samus was infected by an X-parasite after killing a Hornode. At first, it seemed that nothing had happened, and being unaware of the parasite present in her body, she departed the Biological Space Laboratory Research Center. Shortly after takeoff, Samus lost consciousness and her gunship strayed into a nearby asteroid field. In the last second prior to impact, her escape pod was launched, and Samus was found by Federation scientists of the BSL. Back at Federation headquarters, the infected portions of her organic power suit were surgically removed, and to save her from certain death, she was infected with the serum developed from the DNA of the deceased infant Metroid. The scientists modified Samus's power suit, creating the Fusion Suit, and granted her a new gunship with a built-in voiced computer named by Samus, Adam, in honor of her former and deceased commander. Fully equipped, she was ordered to investigate the BSL. The X was more vicious than initially presumed, and one of them, the SA-X, had taken the form of her former fully armored power suit and was now hunting Samus. But it was before Samus entered the restricted lab where the Galactic Federation had been cloning Metroids for their own utility. It was at this point that Samus turned against the Galactic Federation and Adam attempted to restrain her until Federation police would arrive. Instead, Samus persuaded and convinced the computer to destroy both the station and SR-388. As Samus had suspected, the personality of the computer was indeed based on her former commander, Adam Malkovich. The Federation's intervention was imminent, and Samus knew that every second counted. She confronted the SA-X, destroyed the Core X and the Omega Metroid. She then directed the Federation Research Station to impact SR-388. It seemed as if she had fulfilled the will of her Chozo parents. The destruction of the X-Parasite and the Metroids to restore peace to the galaxy. Though this was just as an illusion, as the X was still alive and well, only on a different planet. Warning, the rest of this video contains spoilers from Metroid Dread. Click away now if you don't want to be spoiled. We will give you 5 seconds before we go into Metroid 5 and Planet CDR. In a mysterious bit of footage received by the Galactic Federation, it appeared that the X-Parasite had managed to spread to a different planet. Shell-shocked by this development after the destruction of SR-388, the Federation sent in a group of exploration robots to figure out the scale of the issue at hand. However, soon after touching the ground, the Emmy robots went missing. Desperate for answers, the Galactic Federation reached out to Samus and tasked her to head for the unknown ZDR. Upon landing on this mysterious world, the bounty hunter was immediately attacked by a heavily armed Chozo warrior. With ease, he ripped Samus's Varia suit off and left her for dead. The hunter woke up at the bottom of ZDR in a very vulnerable position, but managed to learn the identity of the Chozo who had dropped her in this death trap, General Ravenbeak. Adam, her board computer from the mission on SR-388, had more bad news for Samus. First and foremost, in her weakened state, she had no way of dealing with Ravenbeak. And then you had the Federation's Emmy robots, which had been reprogrammed to serve Ravenbeak, hunting Samus down, and this time until she wouldn't breathe again. Samus confronted and defeated the resurrected Kraid. Quiet Robe, a Chozo scientist from SR-388 who had been captured by Ravenbeak in order to do his dirty work. Confused by this development, he explained to Samus that originally the Metroids and the Chozo lived in peace until mass hysteria broke out on SR-388, after which the Chozo warriors from ZDR destroyed the peaceful-minded birds and took Quiet Robe as the sole survivor. The initial plan was to come back to SR-388 later and enlist the Metroids for Ravenbeak's cause. There were, however, two complications that foiled this plan. First, while the General traveled back, Samus landed on SR-388 and destroyed every Metroid that was alive except the baby Metroid. Furthermore, the X-Parasite took over one of Ravenbeak's recruits and upon return to ZDR, ravaged the planet and its Chozo inhabitants to astronomical levels. Somehow, Ravenbeak escaped from the X and set a new goal: take the Metroid DNA that had been planted within Samus's body. With the help of the Emmy robots, the extraction would be easier than before. A backup plan, which is where things stood. Quiet Robe pleaded with Samus to make Ravenbeak find its ways. Though supporting Samus turned out to be a death sentence for Quiet Robe, who was blasted by a Chozo warrior and left to die. Samus carried on her journey, but also noticed that two things were off. The board computer seemed to give weird advice, and there was no sign of any Chozo life. The later question was soon answered, as within the boundaries of a Chozo temple, Samus found a massive amount of X-Parasite, which now roamed free after opening up the sealed door. And this way, the dying Quiet Robe was taken over by the parasite. Before falling under the influence of the X, Quiet Robe deactivated the Emmy robots to ensure a safe passage for Samus. But now, under the control of the X, the Emmy were put back to continue Ravenbeak's hunt. Ever since X resurfaced, Samus's behavior turned more violent, overfilled with red energy, which caused her to lose control. The first signs of turning into a Metroid. With her newfound strength and numerous upgrades, she at last destroyed an Emmy with ease, causing Ravenbeak to brace for the final confrontation. Samus fought her way to Ravenbeak's air fortress, where a few mysteries were finally resolved. First, Ravenbeak was the one behind Adam's illogical behavior, as he pretended to simply be his board computer. Secondly, the connection between Samus and Ravenbeak was much more intense than initially realized. It turned out that Samus had not only been infused with Grey Voice's DNA, but also Ravenbeak. A turn of events that caused Ravenbeak to refer to Samus as "my foolish daughter." After an intense fight with multiple phases, Ravenbeak tricked Samus into an attack and grabbed her. Attempting to safely extract the Metroid DNA from Samus's body, Samus unleashed a new level of rage that saw her suit and body become one in a special Metroid armor. The fortress collapsed and the duo plummeted to the planet's surface below. There, Ravenbeak was swallowed whole by the X and transformed into an abomination. Samus confronted the combined Ravenbeak X, and with an incredible beam strike from her new Metroid suit, she destroyed her final obstacle on ZDR. The planet, however, was on the verge of collapse, and an escape sequence to the ship was initiated. After arriving safely back to her ship, a voice stopped Samus from leaving. Quiet Robe, who appeared behind Samus. He cured the hunter from the effects of the Metroid suit, allowing it to not overload with energy. Grateful for Quiet Robe's effort during her dreadful time, Samus departed the planet with the remains of this Chozo civilization in ruins forever. Her further whereabouts remain unknown, but it is clear that after her most dangerous mission so far, Samus was a changed person. The protector of the galaxy, but also a survivor of the X, the Emmy, and Ravenbeak.
And that is the complete Metroid timeline with Metroid Dread, so be sure to share this video and leave a like as we are aiming for at least 3,500 to celebrate 35 years of Metroid. And please subscribe plus press that notification bell as more videos, including timeline videos starring Jason Damron, the voice Overlord, are on the way. Obviously, these productions are costly, so if you can, then we would greatly appreciate if you could join our patrons on patreon.com/Kamuuei and become a financial supporter of the channel, just like our royal producer Charles Shash. Now please enjoy one or both of these two awesome videos, including our Metroid Dread brutally honest review.